On this episode of Inside Iowa, see how the University of Iowa works together to prepare for floods.
Join Kirk and Mary Ferentz and other coaches and athletes at the 3rd Annual Ladies Football Academy.
See how Iowa students, faculty, and alumni storm the state capitol to meet with legislators to show the impact the university has across the state.
Meet some football players who volunteer at a local elementary school.
Meet recent graduate and women's basketball star Morgan Johnson and hear why she chose to come to Iowa.
Plus, see how the Children's Hospital fixed a boy's chest abnormality.
Hi, welcome back to another exciting season of Inside Iowa, your guide to what's happening with students, staff, faculty, and alumni. I'm Lauren Moss.
And I'm Eric Dawn. Join us each week as we take a look at the impact the University of Iowa has and the difference it makes in the community.
This past summer, Iowa City and surrounding communities faced rising floodwaters from the wettest spring on record.
University officials were prepared for the potential flooding, learning from the floods of 2008 and improving their communications and response times.
Keeping the campus and the students safe was a collaborative effort, and several organizations were on the front line monitoring the river and its rising currents.
Director of Planning, Design, and Construction for the University of Iowa.
I'm a hydrologist here at the USGS.
I work at the Iowa Flood Center as a design engineer.
I'm the operations manager here at Coralville Reservoir.
The university assembles a core team of folks that will be the center point for all of the coordination and efforts going on, plus coordination with the surrounding communities, Johnson County Emergency, and the weather forecasters, as well as those at the Corps of Engineers at the Coralville Reservoir.
We have highly advanced equipment now that can measure the stream flow. A stream gauge is it's a structure near the river that will continually monitor the water level at that location. And then from that water level, we can compute the stream flow, the volume of water that's coming down the river. Stream flow is what is used in the forecast by the National Weather Service or the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers that operates the Coralville Reservoir.
Well, the Weather Service does the forecasting of the weather. We're here to let that lake expand. If you think of the lake almost kind of like a balloon, and where the air goes in and out, that's the dam, that's the focal point, okay? When the flooding conditions are going on and you get high rainfalls and things, we hold that water, so we pinch that off and the lake gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we can let it out slowly at safe levels.
When we began to get word from the Corps of the risks of seeing the reservoir reach its top, and the weather being bad at that point, we knew we needed to get together 7 days a week. Once that plan falls into place, we are teleconferenced into a meeting with Johnson County. That includes all of the surrounding communities and all of the agencies that are involved with the flood protection or flood risk issue.
They also get our stream flow information as well. So every hour they get the same data that we're getting too.
They were the ones that were, telling us, hey, we need, we're going to have this amount of time, we'll have the HESCO barriers in place, and we'll be able to take this amount of water. And so they kind of laid out their timeline.
The wall that is behind me represents part of 7 miles of HESCO barriers that have been established and installed on our campus. It's a remarkable process that we discovered in 2008. And they're very effective in flood barriers. And after the 2008 flood, we began to study the option for having that be our primary protection method. And so it allows us to put 4-foot, 8-foot, 12-foot high walls up where we need them. At the Mayflower, it's a full height, 3 tall system of 12 feet of HESCO barriers, currently engaged by the Iowa River and currently doing the job as planned. Art Building West became the first building to work its way through the entire FEMA process. The invisible wall, as we call it, is installed. It's a 900-foot system of underground foundations that allow us, when threatened by major flooding, to install a system of steel I-beams and aluminum panels. The Flood Center was born out of the disasters of 2008, and don't just serve the University of Iowa, don't just serve the communities here, but the entire state of Iowa. They've been an invaluable resource to us, both the disaster recovery in 2008, but also our preparations here in 2013.
The inspiration or the trigger for all of this work with these stream gauges stems from the floods of 2008, in which 85 of the 99 counties in Iowa were declared federal disaster areas. And one of the things that became apparent after that event was the lack of good stream information on smaller watersheds, smaller tributaries feeding into larger rivers, so people could make informed decisions.
The aim here is to provide river stage information to the citizens of Iowa, and it's funded by the state of Iowa through the Iowa Flood Center.
These are typically installed in places where small towns request them, and so it provides the information of all these small streams that feed into the bigger streams, such as the Iowa and Cedar, to give a better picture on how much water is coming in.
The primary statement we continue with is living with floods, but also living with the river. We don't intend to fortify ourselves against the river and turn our back on it. The river is something that is a great amenity to our community and to our campus. It makes a difference, makes it a special place, but we also know what it can do to our campus in flood years.
Coming up next, a women's football camp that raises money for the Children's Hospital.
And Hawkeyes trek to the Capitol to show how the University of Iowa impacts the state. Inside Iowa, we'll be right back.
We have a certain way of doing things. You'll see it in the determination of our students, in the classroom and on our fields, in the collaboration among our faculty that lead to great innovation and change, in the vision of our writers, artists, and doctors, bringing the world to Iowa and Iowa to the world. It's the Hawkeye way.
This summer, more than 200 people participated in the third annual Ladies Football Academy at historic Kinnick Stadium.
That's right, and participants had to raise at least $500, all of which benefits the University of Iowa Children's Hospital.
This year, the camp raised over $250,000, and in its 3-year history, they have collected over $700,000.
Activities on the field included drills and performance tests with coaches and athletes. Coach Ferentz and the Spirit Squad were on the sidelines making sure everyone was having a good time, all benefiting a good cause.
Good, right here, good. Right there, sit. Bam, nice, that's excellent. The idea of a ladies football academy, Football 101, it's basically a combination of Football 101 and fantasy football for women. And Kirk and I had thought that's something that would really go over here. So then we started thinking, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have an annual event to raise some money for the Children's Hospital, and who better to team up with football and children than women.
Mary had an interest in finding an event, a signature event that could really, in a formal way, marry this great relationship between Iowa football and Children's Hospital. And Mary's passion is women, and I think that she has identified an event that really harnesses the power of women doing great things for kids.
I was really impressed with the players. They're very personable, they were very interactive, and they really made us feel welcome. It was great to have that opportunity with the players, with the coaches, and even the volunteer committee. I mean, they really knew what they're doing. This is a great event, very well organized.
People get to see the athletes perform on a football field, and I think they think of them as high-performance athletes and forget that they're people's sons and husbands and brothers and boyfriends. They're just like you said, they're just kids, and that is something that is really special for me. We keep it really closed, really special, really elite, and that's to just, so that everybody is relaxed. And I think that makes a whole difference. And it is something really special that ladies do get to see the players and the coaches the way I get to see them.
I just didn't realize how hard they work every day and how physically demanding this is. Obviously, when someone's in good shape, they're playing football, but I had no idea how hard they work every day.
Ready, set, hit.
I think my favorite part was the swarm. It's a unique opportunity.
And you feel their energy.
Yeah.
You want to jump up and down.
It's pumping, and
that was a rush.
There isn't even 70,000 people here.
Just the amazing work that gets done at the Children's Hospital. We're here to support that work, and just again wanted to express our appreciation for you being part of it. It's just a fantastic thing. Everything's great today. Every time we're down here, typically, we're competing. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Today, everybody wins. Win on three. 1, 2, 3. All right, good job.
Every spring, University of Iowa students, alumni, and representatives travel to the state capitol in Des Moines to meet state legislators and showcase the university's commitment to statewide service.
Over 100 students and more than 30 colleges, departments, and programs were on hand to talk about the Iowa experience, hometown ties, and the difference the university makes across the state.
Well, the Hawkeye Caucus is honestly one of the most exciting days of the year to have students, faculty, and administrators here at the Capitol letting us know what they do at our University of Iowa.
We're basically just here to kind of meet with our legislators, tell our stories, explain why we came to the university, and all of the great value that I think I've taken away with me from being a student at Iowa.
I think what it really does is put a face on the issue. In the legislature, we deal with numbers and dollars and percents. That's not what it's all about. It's about people. And so when we can put a face and a name on it, these are University of Iowa students, it really drives home. This is what it's all about.
So I came up here to represent University of Iowa and University of Iowa student veterans. Just kind of give some of the legislators a view of what's happening with the student body at the university.
Well, I think it's key that they come to the Capitol. Number one, to show all legislators that the University of Iowa touches every county in Iowa. All 99 counties have a student that attend the University of Iowa. It also shows legislators the array of services that are offered through the colleges, the training opportunities, and the connections with the world of work.
The energy is really positive today. It's so great to see all of the tables, and really every single component of the university is represented. And I think that's excellent because we don't always get a chance to showcase how diverse and extensive everything is that happens at the university. And my interactions with my legislators have been really, really positive.
Well, I tell you, it's probably the happiest I've seen 150 legislators in a couple of weeks. I think just meeting with young people and the excitement that they bring and the knowledge that they bring to the table kind of lifts everyone up a notch.
Go Hawks.
After the break, meet some football players who spent their downtime reading to kids.
All of that and more when Inside Iowa returns.
You're going to have a 3D card.
Why are you taking it, Tish?
So the key thing here is that
Show your Iowa pride, the Iowa Hawk Shop, where Iowa shops. The ultimate collection of Iowa Hawkeye merchandise, gifts, and apparel. Help support the University of Iowa. All proceeds benefit men's and women's athletic teams and student programs. The Iowa Hawk Shop, where Iowa shops. Show your Iowa pride. Call 1-800-HAWK-SHOP or visit www.hawkshop.com.
Pull that out. You don't. Sean Green spins away from the tackler and he's off to the races. To the 40, to the 30, to the 20, back to the inside. It is a touchdown. The motion. Green has the first down. Looks around the 20, spins, touchdown. Single season rushing leader. And he's got it right now. Spins away to the end zone. Touchdown.
Can Hartlieb and the Hawks do it? Hartlieb sprinting back. It's caught, it's in, the 5, yes, a touchdown. I can't believe it. A touchdown to Marv Cook. Holy cow. Can't believe it. 6 seconds to go. Hartlieb to Cook, and the Hawks have the lead.
Well, Lauren, with college football season finally upon us, most of the attention on football players these days are whether or not they can read a defense.
That's right. Between their school responsibilities and spring practice schedule, the Hawks spent their spare time volunteering at a local elementary school reading to 5th and 6th graders.
In the state of Iowa, a Hawkeye football player can sometimes seem larger than life. And some of them are just large, literally. Offensive lineman Brandon Sheriff towers over most people at 6'5". However, when he isn't protecting the quarterback's blind side, he's also volunteering at Mark Twain Elementary School in Iowa City.
In 5th grade, I remember we had our high school football team. There were a couple cadet teachers, and we'd always look forward to them coming in and reading with us. We always thought it was cool, having the high school football, player come in. And now now I'm playing football at the University of Iowa, and I can't imagine what it'd be like to have a college Division I football player come in and talk to the school. I think it's an awesome experience.
The first week was more of a meet and greet with 6 Hawkeyes, 2 in each room, and the children had several questions for the players.
One question that we got asked: what happens if you can't play football? Or the one kid asked about the basketball injury that we saw, and what if you can't do this for the rest of your life? Or what happens? And we just said that you have to be, you have to stay on top of your academics, and one day football is going to end, and we're going to have to do what we went to college for, and it's really important that you do well enough to get your degree.
These Hawkeye student athletes have very busy schedules, but they all made the commitment to help out the school for the next 6 weeks.
I think that consistency over the course of 6 weeks means a great deal. This first day was really more about the players introducing themselves to the kids, getting the kids to be comfortable and familiar with them, and vice versa, so that now when they come back in subsequent weeks and they're reading to the kids and the kids are reading to them, there's already a connection there, and they can really form a relationship that I think is going to be more meaningful. Again, the kids are going to listen to and pay more attention to these players because they know them now, and I think that's very powerful.
Everybody knows Iowa Hawkeyes. Everybody, you know, wherever you are, wherever you come from, they know about the Hawkeyes. Some kids know particular players, and when we told them that people that were coming, some of them got very excited. All of them know that the Hawkeyes are in Iowa City, and they know about the football program, and that these guys came and gave their time, you know, to talk to our kids. They felt very proud that they would come and do that.
Morgan Johnson recently graduated, leaving the University of Iowa and leaving a legacy behind her as well. This four-year basketball starter set the record for most career starts as well as most career blocks with nearly 300.
She chose Iowa because of its great academics in addition to its athletic programs. And she was a leader in the classroom in addition to being a leader on the hardwood.
After graduation, Morgan was planning on taking the MCAT and heading off to medical school, but an opportunity to play on an all-star team in China helped her realize another goal.
She learned she wants to continue playing basketball, and not just here in the States. She wants to be an international player and is heading off to the Czech Republic to begin her professional basketball career.
When you put on that jersey and you get to walk out in front of thousands and thousands of people every Sunday and every Thursday, knowing that the whole community is really pulled together to support us. They're such a big and vital part of our atmosphere here at Carver, and I've absolutely loved it. I'm Morgan Johnson. I'm from Platte City, Missouri, and I'm studying health and human physiology. I went to start a look at the University of Iowa because they had a great medical school and they had a great athletic program here, and it was the combination of both athletics and academics that ended up drawing me here to the University of Iowa. I'm doing research with Dr. Wolf on shoulder instability. I'm taking video edits of different shoulders and I'm putting them together, one for medical school and to be prepared by that, but also to learn more about orthopedics. My real goal is to become a pediatrician, hopefully someday. Maybe that has something to do with being the oldest of four, but just really becoming that doctor that helps kids, not only here in Iowa, but somehow around the world in different countries and missions work. But I really, really am excited about that kind of future that holds for me. At the University of Iowa, I've learned a lot of lessons. The opportunities I have here are going to better my future, and that also everything has a purpose. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned, is that every single mistake, every single good thing that's happened to me has all happened in accordance to a plan, and I think that my confidence in that plan really is what has helped me to excel.
Goes straight up and in. That was a great look.
Perfect timing.
When we return, see how the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics changed a young boy's life.
Inside Iowa, we'll be right back.
May, when Basabi has been very active on the offensive glass. And there it is. Devin Marble with that score joins his dad Roy in the 1,000-point club here at Iowa. The first father-son duo in Big Ten history to accomplish that feat. He just made history. Father and son, each in the same exclusive club in Iowa basketball history.
Can Hartlieb and the Hawks do it? Hartlieb sprinting back. It's caught, it's at the 5,
yes,
a touchdown. I can't believe it. A touchdown to Marv Cook. Holy cow. Can't believe it. 6 seconds to go. Hartlieb to Cook, and the Hawks have the lead.
When Blake Derby complained to his parents about feeling lethargic all the time, a physical revealed Blake suffered from pectus excavatum, also known as sunken chest.
Blake was constantly tired and couldn't keep up with the other students in gym class, so his family turned to the experts at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, where doctors surgically inserted a metal bar into his chest to remedy the problem.
What happened was we went in for a physical, a sports physical, and when he took off his shirt, he noticed he had a dent in his chest. Looking from the side of Blake, it looked like it almost touched his backbone.
And I thought it was just like normal, you know. I mean, I didn't really think there was anything wrong with it. It just seemed more cosmetic to me, and it didn't seem like it was doing anything to me personally.
And he kept telling me every day, I'm really, really tired. I just can't keep up with the rest of the kids in PE or any of my sports. So that's when I contacted our family doctor again, and he gave us the information to come here to Dr. Pitcher.
Blake has a condition which we call pectus excavatum, where you're born with an abnormality of the bones of the breastbone, and the breastbone, as it develops, becomes sunken in. It's called placement of a nuss bar. So essentially what you do is you make a small incision in the armpit on each side that's about 1 inch long, and then you mold a stainless steel bar in the shape of the chest as you want it to be.
He said he wanted to do the procedure. I said, you know, it's up to you, if you want to do it or not. And he says, no, I want to do it. Because I think he understood how he felt.
He did remarkably well. He had very little pain, after his procedure. And he went home and he did his rehabilitation, got back on his feet, got mobilizing. And we've seen him at the clinic. He's doing great. He hasn't had any further problems. He's waiting for his bar to come out sometime down the line.
They explained everything. They were so open and honest and just reassuring and compassionate. And I think that's the most comfortable I've ever felt at any hospital.
If any one of them was here, I would thank them with my whole heart, with my whole life, because I owe it to them and to God, because they helped me get through this. They helped me get through this. It was such a tough experience, but they helped me do it, and I wouldn't have been able to without them.
Blake is my hero. He really is. He went through this whole thing. He never complained, not one time.
I'm in show choir, bowling, musicals. Going to be starting some more plays next year.
Baseball, basketball, the sky's the limit. He's got a tremendous amount of drive in him, and it can only go upward and upward from here.
U of I Hospital, I don't know how to say thank you for everything that you've done for our son. This was the best place for Blake to be, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
That was certainly a touching story, Lauren. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. I hope you learned more about the University of Iowa, its students and staff, and how it all makes a difference.
Be sure to join us again next week for more stories from the University of Iowa. For Inside Iowa, I'm Laura Moss.
And I'm Eric Dawn.
See you next week.